Hi, everyone. How are you? Finally, we're live. I can't believe it.
Oh my gosh.
Unbelievable. I'm just going to say a quick something in Hebrew so people will understand, because they were waiting for us. Here it's 10 a.m. and over there it's 8 a.m. now, 8:30.
8:30, yeah.
Yeah, but people were expecting us, and well, we had a small, let's say, how would you call it?
Glitch in the matrix.
Yeah, technical issues, technical problems. By the way, JP, you have the link right now in your messenger, so you can share.
I'm sharing it.
The new link. Yes, perfect. So great. Wow. So I'm going to say a sentence in with your permission, so people will understand what. Yeah.
Speak away.
אז חברים, הייתה לנו תקלה טכנית הבוקר, שעד עכשיו ככה ניסינו לסדר אותה, ולשמחתנו הצלחנו, אז אנחנו בדיליי, אבל העיקר שאנחנו פה, אז אתם מוזמנים להצטרף אלינו דרך הלינק החדש, ולשתף, אנחנו יוצאים לדרך. So, good morning, JP. I'm so excited to host you. Shalom. I'm so excited to host you in this show, or this live show. It actually happened on a regular basis on Tuesdays, and then we're going and interviewing motivational and inspirational speakers and figures that are very, let's say, inspiring. And now we're with you. I know that you're in London right now?
I'm close to London, about an hour away in a county called Hampshire, where I live, my country home.
So great. So with the internet, we can actually go together. You're in, next to London, and I'm in Israel, next to Tel Aviv. So this is pretty cool. We're going to talk about consequential thinking. We're going to talk about peak performance, and to see how it affects on our everyday lives, and how we can actually, if we feel stuck, or we want to move forward, just to get tips and ideas on how we can move forward from the place we are right now. So this is what this show is all about. And I'm really excited to host you this morning.
Amazing. It's a real pleasure to be here. I actually saw that just recently you had who I call my brother from another mother, Mr. Alan Kleinhans. Yes. So it's a pleasure to follow in his footsteps in many different ways. But obviously we've connected previously when I came and spoke in Israel. I can't remember where it was, February or March, I think it was.
It was
and
March.
Then we met at Tony Robbins in London at UPW, Unleash the Power Within. And here we are, another 6 months later, connecting again. And so it's my pleasure to be here. Two of my favorite subjects, thinking and peak performance.
Definitely. And then we met at Amsterdam in Business Mastery, which was...
Business Mastery as well. So I saw you very quickly.
Three times this year. Unbelievable. Yeah. So I had the pleasure of sharing the stage with you while you had the presentation and lectures in Haifa and Jerusalem and Tel Aviv, and it was an amazing experience. So
thank you.
So as we said, we're going to talk about peak performance. And I don't know, I'm going to just let you know, because at the last couple of days, we just celebrated the new year of, it's called Rosh Hashanah, which is a new year for us. And I know for you, it's only at the end of December. But here, the sense is that everyone is celebrating the new year, and it's a beginning. It's a chance of, beginning a new year and see how we can affect and make decisions, better decisions in all aspects of life. And I know that a lot of people are trying to take this forward. And the thing is, sometimes a lot of people are keeping telling me, and I know that you know that, and from a personal point of view as well. I know that because it happens to all of us. Sometimes we feel stuck in some certain area in our life that we want to promote and we cannot, because we feel that everything is not going the way that we want. So let's talk about how can we take it from where we are now to where we want to be, and what would be the best thing to do on that at that specific point.
So you've, first of all, a really good question. I have a private coaching community online, and I did a video touching on this subject very, very briefly last night. And it's basically two things. One, have a clear strategy to get you from where you are to where you want to be, which I will explain. And the second thing is, was Tony says, always make it as easy as possible to get moving. Because when we feel stuck, we think that we need to achieve this big change, this big transformation. Oh, I've got to go out and, run 10 kilometers now. No, if you can make a little, tiny little step, that feeling of progress is what you want, what will allow you to keep having momentum. For example, I'll come back to the ABC strategy, but if I want to get running, I feel very unfit. If I tell myself, right, I'm unfit, I want to perform better, I want to have more energy, but I've got to get to the gym. So I've got to put on my shoes, pack my bag. Everything okay?
Yeah, I just see something. We're missing on the logo, the thing. Can we add that now or no? No. Okay. Okay, we had because, sometimes the title is missing and a lot of other stuff, but this is part of things when we are trying, and we had this mislead in the morning, but that's part of it. So let's continue. I
have a saying in my life: always do the best with what you have. So this is what we have right now. This is what we have.
This is what we're doing right now.
We have a lack of time and a lack of logos. So let me go very quick. So I can say I want to become a peak performer. I want to change my life. I want to get fitter, healthier, all these things. But if I tell myself the story that, okay, for me to take action in this area, I now have to put on my clothes, pack my bag, get in my car, drive to the gym, get in the gym, put my stuff down in the locker, I'm making it very difficult for myself. Whereas if I just said this, hey, I've not been fit for a while, why don't I put my shoes on and run around my block? It might take me 60 seconds, but if I can do that, I get tick progress, and it's much easier. Then once you've done that, then you can move forward. Here's another example. You know what? I hear that the most successful people in the world all read books. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start reading a book a week. And then what happens is your first day, you read 5 pages. Next day, you miss a day. Then you think, I'm not good enough. I'm too busy. I'm too stressed. I have too many demands. I have children, blah, blah, blah. It's the story we keep telling ourselves. Whereas if you make it as easy as possible, how could someone read? They could read 1 page a day. They could read a half a page a day. They could read 1 sentence from a book a day, because it's still better than reading nothing at all. Yeah. Another example would be, I want to spend more time with my family. And you have this illusion that you need to start taking holidays and everything. No, you could just come home and say every single day to your family, I love you. What did you do today? If you did that every day consistently for a year, I promise you that you will get more satisfaction and fulfillment in that area. So the second thing I mentioned was, the first thing I mentioned was have a clear strategy, A, B, C. The second thing that I've just been talking about is about making it as easy as possible for you to move forward. If you want to gain more knowledge, read 1 page a day. If you want to learn a language, get a language app and do it for 5 minutes a day. When I was in Israel, I learned some Israeli words. I learned some Hebrew. When I was in Poland, I learned Polish. When I was in Norway, I learned Norwegian. When I was in Spain, I learned Spanish. Because I just tell myself, hey, I don't have to learn a whole language. What can I do in the next 5 minutes today, over the next 3 days while I'm here? And then people are so impressed. Why? Because I chunk things down and make them as easy as possible. And the first thing I mentioned, sorry.
If it's not simple, it's something that, most of the time we cannot act on or perform. The
Absolutely.
and this is a key thing to remember. Just keep it simple. When it's simple to understand, it's simple to do, and then the most probability that it will get done, right? So
yeah, there's a saying, keep it simple, stupid. And Albert Einstein said, make everything as simple as possible, but not simpler. Meaning, give people what they need to know, but don't overcomplicate things. I've done this as a speaker, as a coach, as a personal trainer before that. Health is easy. Energy is easy. Success is easy if you follow easy principles. So here's one easy principle to get unstuck. You must identify your ABCs. A, where are you right now? B, where exactly do you want to be? And C, what do you need to change? What do you need to start doing? And what do you need to let go of for you to get there? I want you to imagine that there's a gap. You're trying to jump. Everything okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I want you to try and imagine that you're trying to jump over a gap, or you're in your car and you're trying to get from one place to the next place. You first have to look at, if you want to jump that gap, you need to know exactly where you are. Then you need to look ahead of you and you need to figure out, what do I need to do, or where do I need to get to? Same as a GPS in a car. And then the GPS can work out exactly what you need to do to get there. Or if you need to jump that gap, only once you look at where you're standing, then you look at where you want to jump to. Only then can your brain figure out how you need to make the jump, how fast you need to run up, how high you need to jump, where you need to place your feet. But this is very important. It's so simple. Everyone has jumped at some time in their life. So I want everyone listening to this or watching this to visualize. Imagine that you're about to take a jump. Imagine you were about to take a jump, but you didn't know where you needed to land. You would never do it. Never. Imagine you needed to take a jump and you could see where you needed to jump to, but you couldn't see anything around your feet. You still wouldn't take the jump. So to people to get unstuck, they have to get very clear and very honest about where they are. And number two is they need to get very clear and very honest about where they want to be. Only then can they decide, what do I need to do next?
This is really fascinating, because I think that most people, do you hear me an echo?
You're good on my side.
Okay. Anyway, this is what stops a lot of people, because what they see in front of their eyes is actually the big picture, right? What they need to do in order to make that happen, and it seems so big and so, impossible. And what am I going to do next? And it seems so, I don't know, frightening in that stage. Yeah. And that's scary. Exactly what you're saying. They will never get that step done once it's like that. So what you're talking about is actually, do you know the Kaizen technique? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I am. I haven't heard
me?
What do you call it? No, I haven't heard about it in many, many years. I think when I did my NLP training, I first heard about it. Can you explain it again? Yeah,
with pleasure. The thing with the Kaizen is actually it all started in the end of World War II. And people were trying, it started in Japan. People were trying to figure out how to get out of this financial chaos and what to do in order to reorganize everything. And they realized a very smart thing. What they came with is actually people are scared of doing big steps and afraid of doing, let's say, a big way or a goal, which is something that can be frightening. So what they've done is actually take the big goal and divided it into small action steps, small bits and pieces, in order for people to follow through and then make a big change with small steps. This is actually the main concept and main idea. Another really interesting thing of the Kaizen is that every human being has his strong points and his weak points. The main thing for the people that are listening is to realize that we cannot do all at once. We need to focus on the things that we are really good at, and what we are weak, just to pass it on people that are strong in what we're not so good at. So this is actually the Kaizen technique.
I'm very good at that.
This is a very important tool. So definitely.
I, for a very long time, tried to do everything. And then I just reached a point where I said, you know what? I'm just going to focus on what I do, and I'm going to leave the rest for the best. Leave the rest for the best. If you're not the best at doing something, don't try and do it. There's so many ways to outsource things, to find resources from other people, to hire and inspire a team around you. So yeah, do your thing and leave the rest for the best.
The rest for the best. I love it. You know, the people are saying, and I know that Tony says that all the time, when you want to have a huge success and a great success, make sure that you build up good team, like that the team that you're working with are going to be very high quality people that are having peak performance, as you say, and are really good at what they're doing.
Absolutely. Honestly, I'm a very honest guy. You know me, Sharon.
Yeah.
I'm not a great project manager. You know who manages me? My wife. You know who keeps me accountable sometimes? My clients. You know who allows me to slow down sometimes? My family. I have business partners. have coaches, mentors. All these people allow me to be the finished product, which is JP De Villiers, Jean-Pierre De Villiers. I didn't get here on my own. I don't show up like this on my own. I have people that inspire me, push me, challenge me, encourage me, reprimand me, shake my hand, pat me on the back, kick me up the arse, all these things.
Really important to do that. So you said a lot of interesting and very important key points. One was building a strategy which will give you the stepping stones in order to understand what needs to happen next. And the second thing you said, know where you are now, and then know where you want to be, and imagine that point exactly. So this will assist you to get to where you wanna go. So what would be next?
I have to quote Tony again. Clarity is power.
Yeah.
Clarity is power. So what would be next? So the first thing I said, obviously, is what you just mentioned. The next thing was the goal setting strategy, clarity, knowing where you are, knowing where you need to get to, so that you then know the C, or number 3, which is exactly what you need to do next. And the fourth one, and this is just an opinion, I'm sure that plenty of people listening to this or watching this might disagree or have another strategy, but for me, it's about accountability. This is why I've had a successful coaching career. This is why I have my own coaches. This is why I encourage everyone that I meet to have a coach, a mentor, I don't care, a therapist, an accountability buddy, whatever, because accountability is king. You see, fitness, personal growth, health, energy generally will always be number 3, 4, or 5 on our priority list.
Yeah.
What comes first is family, or wealth and taking care of our family, and business, like our career. These generally, I know there's exceptions to the rule, but generally these always come first and second. So when your family takes over, or your life takes over, or your business takes over, or you have a challenge, guess what happens to everything else? Pew, goes out the window. And when you lose momentum, it is incredibly difficult to get started. That's why if you're trying to push a car that's standing still, it's always hardest in the start. If you were trying to move a house on wheels, a snowball, a steel ball, the hardest part to move anything heavy is always the beginning. Once you get momentum going, everything becomes easier. And that's why they say that the hardest part about changing your life is making a decision and getting started. So accountability is so important, because that you never have to start again. I was listening to a great audiobook this morning by a friend of mine in Australia named Hayden Wilson. This guy is a genius and wrote such a good book. And he was talking of something that everyone knows. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. He didn't use those exact words, but that's a very famous quote. So you just have to move. You just have to move. And that's I'm looking, as an athlete, I'm looking to get sponsored by Nike, because for me, Nike, or the slogan of Nike, just do it, embodies everything that I do. I want people to get back to love. It's not difficult. Just do it. I want people to take care of themselves. It's not difficult. Just do it. I want people to get the best out of themselves in the world. It's not difficult. Just do it. So accountability and momentum. Accountability / momentum. This is what Hayden said in his book, and it's something that I say all the time. Get ready and stay ready so that you never have to get ready again. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
even
definitely.
For the most fittest people in the world, emotionally, financially, and physically, if they take a break of investing, of keeping fit, of reading, it's always difficult to get started again. It doesn't matter how successful they've been in the past. You know, it's for anyone that has been fit in their life, watching or listening to this. You know, if you go and you take a week off or 3 weeks of fitness, you think, oh, you finish, oh, I feel so amazing. And then you take a month off doing nothing. And then you start running again. You think, damn, man, what happened to my fitness? I feel terrible. And that's because when you lose momentum, you have to get started again, and you need to push and push and push. So stay ready, and you'll never have to get ready again. Have non-negotiables in your life, habits, rituals every day that allow you to always stay ready, and accountability.
I think that accountability helps, when I do the classes and courses, I guarantee, I make sure that the people that I work with actually have someone to be accountable with them for their goals. Because if you are on your own and setting something for yourself in order to keep moving and keep going, sometimes when something happens, the easiest thing is actually to let go of round corners or, give yourself a break. But the thing is, when something is out there and you can trust that person, it will be much easier to keep track and be accountable. And this is something that is actually really, really helps. Be in a group, find someone that will be with you and be accountable with you for what you are desired to do.
Yeah, absolutely. I encourage people to make what I call public declarations. You see, when we say something publicly, we have to do it. When I'm saying I'm going to get back in the boxing ring on the 10th of November, I told everyone about it because I can't pull out then. I told everyone I was going to run a 150-kilometer ultra marathon before I did it. I told I'm now training for, it's over a year away, the World Marathon Challenge. It's 7 marathons, running 7 marathons in 7 continents in 7 consecutive days, with the first marathon being in Antarctica. Look, I'm doing it again. I'm telling the whole world about it. I haven't even signed up for the bloody race, but it's a public declaration because I know if January 2009... But it's a matter of
time that you will.
If I know that January, it's $25,000 to enter. That's why. So I'm just waiting for sponsorship from Nike. Nike, if you're watching. So I tell everyone because I know that when January 2019 comes around, there's no option B for me. You know, Tony Robbins always says that if you want to conquer the island, you must burn your boats, meaning remove your option B. So accountability can be through a coach. It can be through an accountability buddy, like you say, it can be in a group, or it could just be you putting your hand on your heart and your other hand to the sky and say, by this date, this is what I declare I'm going to do. And then tell every single person and watch what happens. I'm going to make a public declaration right now. Right? In May 2017, this year, I made a declaration to start a new organization called Love in Unity. It's an organization that I've started with a business partner and my wife, and it's about creating and increasing love in the world. And I believe that the only way to get back to love, which is who we are, is through unity. We have to come together. And I'm going to speak around the world, travel around the world, and do ultra marathons around the world and ultra endurance events so that I can bring everyone back to love. I'm going to be handing out little things like Love and Unity bracelets and t-shirts, and my goal is I want 1 million people wearing these. Is it the whole world? No, it's a small percent of the world. But love is like anything in life.
Love is everything.
Love creates a ripple effect. So all I need to do is drop some love in every country and allow it to make a ripple effect. And we're doing that through education, information, connection, and contribution to the world. So there's my public declaration.
Bless you. I think it's something that is really, really powerful. And actually, the Kabbalah and the Judaism is talking exactly about that, creating unity, because the force of a large group is much stronger than, a person or an individual. And this is something to be, of course, to be shared, to share.
Hello?
The light, to share the love, to share the positive emotions which create positive actions, and always get ready and stay ready in order not to get ready again. A lot of sense. But what happens when you paused for a while and you lost the momentum? What would be the best way to continue that leverage and see how can you get out of this situation when you're feeling a little bit scared? People were saying some things that were making you go backwards from where you really want to be at, or taking you back off course of the goal that you want to create. So what would be the best strategy for people that actually got to a certain point and then lost the momentum? What would be the best way of getting out of that specific point back into momentum again?
It's very simple. I know it's not what everyone or what you're going to want to hear, but I often tell people that the opposite of procrastination is action. So if you're taking action, it's impossible to be procrastinating or doing nothing because you're in a process of action. So I often say that the cure to all procrastination is this: 1, 2, 3, go. If you just literally apply this principle to your life, where you say, well, I'm on my laptop now, I really should be going to the gym. I can sit here and think about it, lose my momentum, or I can just say 1, 2, 3, go. And on go, I have to do something. There's a teacher or an online influencer, a speaker named Mel Robbins. I'm sure you may be aware of her. And Mel Robbins takes that to the next level. And she says, rather than counting to 3 or to 5, she says, count backwards: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Because what that causes you to do is it causes you to get uncomfortable. So it causes you to break your pattern. So you're having to count backwards: 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And it's really that simple. Don't focus on what you need to achieve by the end of the day. What's the next big goal? What's the marathon you want to achieve? No, all you have to do is get moving. This is a glass in procrastination. This is procrastination. So this water is in procrastination right now. It's stagnant. The second I say go and I move the water, it's no longer in procrastination because now it's in movement. So it's that simple. If you're stuck, move. If you feel unsatisfied, move. And you don't have to move physically. You can move spiritually, physically, emotionally, psychologically. But it's easiest if you just do all 4 of those things. So what I mean by that is change your state. Change what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're focusing on. And the easiest way to do that is to get up and move. Here's a great way to move from procrastination or being unstuck to being into action and feeling like you're moving and flowing. Let's get a trampoline. Get a trampoline, a little rebounder for your house, and just bounce. So you're breathing, you're putting blood into your system, you're, even shout on top of your lungs. People that know me, they know I always say, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. If you say
I do it
yeah,
every
baby,
day, actually. I have one outside.
You're welcome, Susan. We've got a comment there. So Tony Robbins talks about your state, changing your state. When you change your state, you can go from procrastination to action, from disempowerment to empowerment, from crappy to happy. So, and how you do that is change what you're doing with your body, right? I went for a 5-mile run this morning. Change what you're focusing on. Either listen to a great tape, audio book, or something like that. And then the third thing is language, positive language. Yeah, baby. See Susan saying it right there. Just those things. Move your body, move your focus, move your language. Move your language to something that serves you. If you're feeling stuck, you're probably saying things like, I can't do this. I'm finding this very difficult. I feel very tired. If you just change what you're saying to, I've got this, I own this, this is my day, this is a new day to start. I wrote on Twitter this morning, I said, today's a new day, act that way. You know, today's a new day, act that way. I don't care what you did yesterday. I don't care how stuck you were. I don't care how miserable you were. Yesterday is gone. Right? If you show up the same way today, and I say this to anyone listening, I say this with love and compassion, right? I'm not trying to like come down on you. But if you woke up today the same way you felt yesterday, that's your choice. And if you woke up this morning, it's a brand new day. You've had 6, 7, 8, 9 hours of sleep. I don't know. Maybe you're in a state of depression. You slept 12 hours. But if you woke up today and you feel the same way that you did yesterday, that's your fault. No one else's, because it's a new day, it's a new start, it's a fresh canvas, and you have that choice to say, hey, am I going to wake up in a crappy mood today, or am I going to wake up in a happy mood?
Okay, just a quick insight on that one, because it's really important. The thing is, every day, like you say, is a new beginning. And a lot of people are focusing on what they do not want instead of what they do want, because of their latest experience or memories or things that were going on, and, you know, were focusing on your mind and that specific point. But the thing is, you can change, you can shift in every single moment. Use the Kaizen technique. Try to understand that you're not supposed to do everything at once. No one is expecting you to eat the whole cake at one bite. It's not going to happen. You cannot. Yeah, it's going. I mean, really, if you want to enjoy the cake, you need to eat every bite and feel the flavors and the tissue and what the texture and what happening in your mouth at the same time. That actually, you know, you're working your senses through that in order to get the max enjoyment out of that. But the thing is, you need to take one step at a time and do small steps in order to create a massive change. That's one thing. And another thing is actually know that every single moment, every single time, there is a new choice, a new beginning, and you start. And like you say, if you had a crappy day, the last day, you know, you can change it at that day and not wait for the day for tomorrow. One way of doing it is actually put the music that you love, think happy thoughts, think, you know, just snap out of that situation, and it will immediately take you elsewhere.
Every month, ask yourself, what's my favorite? What's the latest song that I absolutely love, and make that your alarm clock. Or every week, or every month, whatever.
I love it.
Jump out of bed in the morning, and as soon as your feet touch the ground, say 5 things very fast that you're grateful for. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my house. I'm grateful for my dogs. Right? And then you're dancing around. You're saying what you're grateful for, and you're starting the day in the way that you want, not what you don't want. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to wake up in a new day thinking about things that are missing from my life. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I used to do it when I was younger, and trust me, it didn't serve me in any way.
It's a recipe for misery.
I mean, the only way it served me, it allowed me to keep bullying myself, and I keep blaming the world for why I was where I was. So it was serving me, but obviously not long term. So I think that if I really want to get this across, so I'm going to just slow down here for 2 seconds. If people wake up feeling miserable, it's only because they are focusing on what's missing from their life. It's that simple. Whether you have lack of money in the bank, whether you have a lack of freedom, right? You're still alive, so you have some kind of freedom. Whether you have a lack of freedom, you have a lack of money in the bank, whether you have a lack of wealth, whether you have a lack of emotional well-being, a lack of fitness, a lack of peak body state, a lack of anything. If you wake up, the fact that you have woken up means that you are blessed. Because if you didn't wake up today, you'd be in a very, very different story. But the fact that you get to wake up means that you have another go, means that you have another opportunity, and you have another 86,400 seconds to make the most of your life.
Yeah.
Hello?
It's actually something that we do, if you're religious or a believer. So that's the first sentence that you're saying when you wake up in the morning. And it's actually to say thank you for being alive, for being here, for waking up. So anyway, we're a little bit out of time. But
I have to go. I had a meeting 7 minutes ago. She's not going to be happy.
I want to thank you so much for being here this morning today and sharing with us. I know that we're going to probably see one another at UPW 1018 at Tony Robbins event.
Absolutely.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining me this morning, and have a wonderful and great day. And for everyone that were with us today, have a wonderful day and take those advice and just make it happen. Thank you so much. See you soon.
Yeah, Sharon, thank you so much. Depending on where you are in the world watching or listening to this, just please remember that the only thing that truly exists is love. Everything else is an illusion. Whether you're in business, you're in it for love. If you're in relationships, you're in it for love. If you're fighting something, it's because of love. We must remember to always get back to who we really are, and that's love. You must remember to love the three relationships of your life. That's God or the universe, that's the people in your life, and that's to love yourself. Everything starts with you. When you change your inside, you change your outside. When you become in love with you, you become in love with everyone in your life, and you'll become in love with your life. Thank you so much for having me. I know we're short on time. I'm happy to do this again at some point, but I'll see you sooner than later.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thanks, Sharon. Thank you. Bye-bye.